And we are back now with the final series, not just of the NA group stage, but of every single group stage. Regardless, this is going to be the end of the Duckling cover. Well, at least for the group stages of the Duckling coverage of the DreamHack Masters Valencia, and we are going to be ending it here with a TvZ.
Exactly. This is the final series, the final round of series here. As you can see, we are diving straight into Group B. We were talking about it earlier. Some of these matches don't matter as much as others, unfortunately. Both these players are confirmed not out of the group, but they are still fighting for some money.
Yeah, a little bit of that bounty just to act as an incentive, and we are going to be starting it on Curious Minds. We're in the top left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the top left-hand corner. We have the Blue Zerg player coming down from the land of America. He's, of course, going to be representing Apprentice Esports. He is Ukko.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Curious Minds LE, we have the Canadian Terran player himself representing Storm Gaming. It is MaSa.
Famous a couple of seasons ago in DreamHack for, I believe, making it all the way to the finals off the back of nothing but 2 Rax proxies. I think it was actually WC. Yeah, it was still. It might have still been WCS at the time. So 2019 or 2020.
That would not have been 2020. This was probably
been
18, 2017.
2018, 2019.
For those who are newer to the scene, MaSa is a very historic player. He has been around for a very, very long time. I remember cheering for him back in WCS Premier League North America back in like 2014. Yeah, he's been he's been around for a long time. He's still here, still competing. He did take a break for a while. There was a period where he had basically pseudo retired, but he came back. He did come back a couple of years ago, last year even, I think. So yeah, it's great to see him return, and he's still good enough, strong enough to be here in DreamHack.
Yeah, just one of those opponents that, you know, if any prospective players who make it through the qualifiers, if they want to advance to the playoffs, they gotta beat MaSa. Well, not Ukko in this case, because, you know, both of them, neither of them are confirmed out of the group stage.
Yeah, it's really going to be an interesting dynamic here, kind of like the young blood versus the old guard, because again, MaSa has been around for a long time. Ukko is more of a newer rising star in the scene, has been a ladder hero for a long time, but recently has been getting some decent results in tournaments, and now he's here in the group stage, and we'll see how much further he can go. I believe this is his first time in the group stage. Hasn't been having the best of times, but again, he's still a very strong player. He's still one of the best Zerg players in North America, and oh my god, Yakuzaku, we're going to be here for a while.
Or are we? So MaSa is planning to go for mech right off the bat. This isn't a response to anything. Ukko hasn't really been able to scout this yet. But hopefully he does, and hopefully he does go for the standard Zerg response of Roach Ravager instead of trying to Ling Bane into a line of tanks.
Yeah, I mean, MaSa, it's pretty interesting here. It looked like he was trying to catch an Overlord as he moves out across the map with these Marines, with these 4 Marines. They're not much of a threat. They don't have stim or anything like that, but they can pick off a couple of Lings here and there. It looks like Ukko is going to try, though, and hunt them down.
And they're never gonna have stim. Not quite dealt with here, so MaSa, you know, has the option to use them as spotters or something.
Yeah.
I spoke too soon.
But with the reinforcing links, every single Marine gets dealt with. Hellions are going to be able to swat these away, though. And I feel like seeing all these Marines out on the map should be a bit of a tell here for Ukko.
Yeah, if you're willing to be that active with 4 Marines here, you're willing to kind of throw them away like that, you're not pulling them up for anything, you're not going to be utilizing them later down the line.
Exactly, because all of those Marines die, that means the Overlord will get in and will get the full scout off. Confirm both factories, confirm the tech labs on the factories as well, that it is researching, and now he knows 100% that it is going to be mech.
Concussive shells?
Oh my god.
Well, you know, a couple of marauders just to slow down desert units. That's always valuable, you know, especially if you're able to seek it in with a medevac. Already MaSa getting some very nice pickoffs. He kills 2 queens. And that's actually quite a lot here in the early game.
Oh god, exactly. Some decent pickoffs here so far by MaSa, being so aggressive early on with these early cyclones, which again is kind of his own adaptation. You don't typically see early cyclones like this. The Marauder, the concussive shell is really throwing me off. He actually hasn't made any Marauders yet. I imagine he will, and I guess it will work out really well if he tries to hit a timing with, say, I don't know, Hellions, Cyclones. I say Hellions, maybe a Hellbat push.
Yeah, I'm keeping my eyes peeled for the armory, but MaSa has not built it yet. He also hasn't built anything from the starport as of yet.
Yeah. So far, he's a little bit too concerned with his micro here. Going to be able to pick up a couple more units. Meanwhile, oh my god, he's going for a follow-up fusion core.
He is going full spirit in this TvZ. BC battle mech is not something we've seen for quite a while, and
yeah,
we'll see if MaSa is able to pull it off.
So, okay, so a couple of things were going through my mind here as we were getting into the game. Looking at MaSa, like, yeah, this is exactly what I thought. I thought he was getting concussive shell as a fake out for the Overlord, right? To make it look as if he was playing Bio, but the Overlord saw everything anyway, so it didn't even matter.
Yeah.
So I thought MaSa was going to
cancel it.
Yeah, and I thought he was going to cancel it, but in the end, he let it finish, so it's like, what? So that's a little bit perplexing. Meanwhile, BCs are usually used as an opener from 1-1-1, but we have a follow-up BC play here from MaSa, which is highly unexpected. We have, like, I have no idea how it's going to work out. Unfortunately, not full spirit, only a single starport.
That's the ultimate fake out here from MaSa.
Ukko
is never going to suspect the 20-minute Marauder transition.
Yeah. Oh my god, mate, I was getting ready for, like, you know, we had some memes in our first series, you know, Asuna going for, like, some cannon rushes and some DTs and all this nonsense. I was like, you know what, it's time for some stock standard TvZ. Who doesn't love some, like, Bio versus Ling Bane or anything like that? But we're not even getting, like, standard mech. Like, MaSa's just doing whatever the hell he wants.
You forgot what region we were casting, Light.
Exactly.
You forgot that we are going full NA in this TvZ, and I couldn't ask for any more here coming out from our players.
Ooh. Exactly. Meanwhile, we do have a little bit of a Ling run by, but MaSa was on top of things. The wall is indeed a wall. The army will come back and help clean up all these things. Not dealing too much damage, just pick off one Hellion. What's important, though, quickly checking the vision, is that Ukko has not gotten past the mineral line. He does not know about the BC that's now in his main. No spores.
Yeah, he was not preparing for any air units here, and why would he? He saw a ton of Hellions, he saw a ton of Cyclones. This is the last thing he was expecting. Roaches coming on forward, and whilst they're still on creep, they are able to, you know, move on forward and snipe a couple of Cyclones, but once you're off of creep, they are even more vulnerable. Look at how quickly the mech force of MaSa is able to decimate roaches.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of roaches did just go down there. Ukko, unfortunately, overextending off of creep. Meanwhile, the BC in the main base is still alive. It does rotate down towards the third base, but thankfully, there are plenty of queens here. The BC doesn't get too much damage done, but another is on the way, as well as Yamato.
And having two BCs, it's almost like having two Banshees. The lock-on is just in range! And it will take out that fourth hatchery. He will sacrifice all of his Cyclones to do so, but in the end, I think it was worth it here from for MaSa. He's transitioning now to more of a standard mech army with tanks and with Hellions.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree that it was worth it, because usually the Terran player would be very vulnerable to a counterattack right now, especially because there are no tanks, but there's a BC, and roaches don't shoot up, so, like, Ukko can't counterattack, otherwise he'll just lose everything.
Yeah, especially when there are two, especially when there are two BCs, you know, they do a little bit more than just tickle the roaches, and they can kill drones as well. They can kill a lot of drones.
Exactly. Meanwhile, the same BC goes across the map. It will teleport back home to defend. And meanwhile, there we go. It will defend. The roaches do nothing here. They trade a little bit, and they do get a couple of Hellion kills. But again, because of the defensive BCs, they cannot do any more than that.
I want to point out that MaSa has not taken any economic damage this entire game.
Oh my god. You know what else
His
I just
bases
realized?
haven't been delayed. He hasn't lost a single SCV.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I thought that we were gonna see some Corruptors soon because I saw the Spire on the way earlier. Looking at the units lost tab, the BC in the main killed the older Spire.
We didn't notice that. Ukko didn't notice that, and now he is scrambling to replace that Spire. These BCs, oh man, they're gonna be so oppressive until a decent Corruptor count can get out, and that's gonna take a long time.
Exactly. Meanwhile, Ukko went full a laser. He made like 7 Overlords earlier, so now he's at 200 supply. Oh, available supply for him, so a little bit inefficient there. But ooh, the Hellions are gonna get behind this mineral line. They're gonna get even more drone kills.
This is not a good game at all to be a drone. 20 of them have already been taken out, and more are on the way here. That's now 3 BCs with Yamato.
Yeah, a 4th is on the way. It's about to finish up. It could even teleport across now to join up with the rest of the BCs. Meanwhile, ooh, a couple of Hellions do get caught out here. Looks like the Lings do get here just in time before the planetary finishes.
There's a massive counterattack coming out from Ukko, but his army is a little bit split. MaSa trying to take out as many queens as possible, and he's actually able to get a ton of them.
Yeah.
All of them.
Oh my god, the queens are out of transfuse energy. Every queen can go down. They will get 1 BC for their troubles, but at the cost of every single queen. This
and all of these drones too.
It's 12 queens. 12 queens, puppy. 12 queens.
12 queens and about to be a ton of drones as well. I cannot believe this planetary survived, but it did.
Planetary survived at the cost of a decent amount of damage, though. Quickly checking here, 17 SCVs did go down in the defense at this 4th base, so at least damage was done. But there was also that counter damage. MaSa. Oh my god.
Despite all of those SCVs going down, MaSa is still up 12 workers right now.
Yeah, and he's
That testament to how many drones he was able to kill.
And he's going for the classic Terran mech move where he was banking up tanks across the map, and now they're coming across the map here to the bases of Ukko. The madman! He has 9 tanks!
There's nothing to stop this either. Ukko trying to build as many Ravagers as possible, but so many Roaches were taken out across the map. These Corruptors are useless right now.
Yeah.
The BCs aren't even here.
The BCs aren't even there. The Roaches try to go for a counterattack, and hey, they're going to dive on top of one of these tanks, but there are plenty of reinforcements to clean these up. The Roaches shouldn't be doing much more than that. Meanwhile, the Hellions get into another mineral line. There's not a lot of buffer for the tanks, so they're having a hard time really advancing forward, and they're looking a little bit exposed, not going to lie.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't help that MaSa is being very aggressive, shall we say, with his Hellions. He's diving them into mineral lines one after the other, and just leaving the tanks exposed. Every single tank gets taken out. That just got completely reset. But MaSa, he is remaking BCs.
Yeah, so
he's
like
producing nothing but BCs and SCVs right now.
Despite the damage that MaSa have been doing, like, and I feel like this was a massive, I don't want to say throw, but a misplay here. Like, throwing away 6+ tanks and all of his Hellions here for not much damage at all was questionable, and because of that, the supplies are evening up. Like, Ukko is still in this.
Yeah, that was a kill move that didn't kill his opponent.
Yeah.
And that's probably the worst position to be in.
Yeah, when you go for a kill move and then suddenly your opponent's still there just looking at you, it's like, oh, this is awkward.
Should you be dead?
Oh god, but yeah, Ukko, he's holding on. He's been able to re-drone, catch back up in those workers. We got a hive on the way, Corruptors. Ooh, we're in position, but move out just at the wrong moment.
And I really appreciate how greedy Ukko has been when it comes to expanding. The Corruptors are back, and there's too many of them for MaSa to really deal with BCs.
Hatchery.
The hatchery will go down. You know, with 2/2, well, actually, no, not 2/2, with just +2 ship armor, these BCs are pretty hard to kill, even with that many Corruptors.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Corruptors didn't kill a single BC. They were all able to escape. They got the hatchery in the end. Oh, BCs, they're tanky. They're quite beefy. They take quite a number of shots to really bring down. And MaSa going to keep the base count of Ukko looking a little bit low. At least he was able to keep the majority of his drones alive.
Yep, and that's super important here. He's able to main art them with, you know, how aggressively he's been expanding. he needs to be able to mine from these bases.
Oh god, he really does. And the other thing to take note of, despite all of this damage, despite how aggressive MaSa has been, the creep spread is honestly not looking too bad at all. Like, he's getting past the halfway point, at least towards the northern side of the map, which is honestly incredibly impressive, despite the fact that he lost all his queens.
Yeah, it completely slipped my mind that Ukko has lost 12 queens this entire game. But yeah, MaSa could definitely be doing a lot more to prevent the creep spread from getting out of hand. I wonder if it would be worth it now for him to just, get a Raven for that protection.
Maybe he wants to get into Ravens later on. Meanwhile, these Hellions here towards the southern side of the map are going to get 10 drone kills. We'll finally get cleaned up, but this space is just not going to happen, Ukko. It's not happening.
At least it was a cancel and not a kill. I made the mistake of looking at the units last tab, Pure Light. Yeah, 25 FCVs have gone down and 50 drones have gone down thus far. 55 creep tumors as well. That's surprising.
That's a lot of creep tumors. Made the BCs are going unhindered. They're getting to the main base. Yo, the Spire's under threat, but no, he teleports back across the map instead.
Yeah, he needs to defend his tanks right now. The tank count gets completely reset along with all of the Cyclones. BCs came in to defend just a little bit too late. And it's honestly quite a shame here for MaSa. He could have taken out the Spire. He could have taken out the either the Spire or the Hive.
Or both.
In all of that. Potentially both. Would have been difficult with the Corruptors, but then again, he does have +3 ship armor. So maybe he could have been able to kill both.
It's possible. Meanwhile, we do see a scan. The Corruptors have been spotted, and MaSa, think he might be going for a counterattack with his BCs. Doesn't want to yet. He did just use his teleport, so doesn't want to get caught out. Another 11 drones go down.
This is just not the map to be a drone on.
I didn't want to look, puppy, but 64 drones have gone down this game.
That's more than I make.
Oh god, it's too much, man. It's too much. The BC's trying to head towards the top left again, but this time the Corruptors are in position. The BCs will not get the hatchery, but at the same time, the tanks take out the bottom left.
Yeah, the BCs might not take out a hatchery. The rest of the army will.
Ukko, he's being spread far too thin, and I do feel like finally he has been broken. He is running out of a bank. He's running out of units. He's running out of everything. He's trying to rebuild, but again, MaSa has just done so much damage this entire game.
Yeah, he's definitely traded very, very efficiently throughout all this. The Corruptors! They get locked on by all of these Cyclones. The BCs are going to have even less to worry about when they come back in after repairs. 16 Swarm Hosts are on the way. Feels like a bit of a desperation move coming up from Ukko right now, but honestly, a well-timed wave of Swarm Hosts will absolutely decimate the ground army of MaSa. It's still the BCs he has to worry about.
Oh no, they got locked on! No, not like this! It looks like, okay, the Swarm Hosts are barely going to survive. 2 of them were taken out as they were coming out from the eggs. The Locust Wave is forced, and this is not good. We need to save these Locust Waves for the tank lines, and now they were wasted, and now MaSa can push in.
Yeah, slowly but surely. Well, I say slowly, but yeah, these Blue Flame Hellions are making short work of the Locusts.
Yeah, mate, there's nothing slow about Hellions and Cyclones, mate. They get on top of the Ravagers. The Swarm Hosts are looking so exposed as well. And MaSa is even taking one of Ukko's bases.
Why the heck not, As well as the stage, the Cyclones just lock on to Overlords, because why the hell not? GG is called, and MaSa, the Madman, is going to take game number 1 after doing just whatever the hell he wants, honestly. We thought that was going to be a longer mech game. That was less than 20 minutes.
Oh my god, I don't know what I just saw. Was that even mech? Like, that was such a unique style of mech, mate. Oh my god.
So what was concussive shells for?
I forgot about that, mate. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot. Oh my god, that was one of the wildest forms of mech I've ever seen. Again, we've seen some weird stuff today. We saw the triple CC before factory nonsense in DreamHack EU, but here in NA, MaSa, he just has his own flavor of things, and despite it being a messy game, he still made it work. But because it was so messy, it was still pretty close.
Yeah. I thought Spirit was the pinnacle of Mad Lat Terran. I was counting out MaSa here.
Oh man.
That was
Go on.
That's hopefully a good sign of how the rest of the series is gonna go. I hope that more than anything else, I really hope that Ukko will be able to win this map so that we get a game 3, because I just want to see what these players throw at each other. We have finally achieved full NA in its most condensed form.
They say never go full NA, but that's exactly what we are right now, and I agree. I hope we see an ace match.
Well, we'll see if that's what we get here on 2000 Atmospheres LE. We're in the top right-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way. In the top right-hand corner, we have our Red Terran player going out with a couple of SCVs. He is hailing from the land of Canada, the Maru of Canada. Representing Psystorm Gaming, he is MaSa.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of 2000 Atmospheres LE, we have the American Zerg player himself, representing Apprentice Esports. It is Ukko. Any proxy.
He's doing it, yeah. It's the MaSa special. That's what I like to call it. Even a third SCV.
Yeah, we even have a third SCV. Not like this. Quickly checking the pathing here of these overlords. Ukko did check the triangular third for a proxy. This overlord here towards the right-hand side is also going to be scouring the horizontal southern part of the map. But I think it may be too late, mate.
This is the one blind spot.
Oh, he doesn't even go all the way. Oh.
Yeah, there's the one blind spot of Ukko's scouting path, or what looked like was going to be his scouting path, and MaSa is making full use of it.
Exactly. So what's important is that Ukko is keeping his second overlord above his natural base, so he will be here to scout SCVs if they throw down bunkers. So that will be his tell here to really figure out what's going on. The overlord will not see the proxy at all, unfortunately. Oh my god, this is a 4-rax!
Yeah, I love to see it. Or I do, anyway.
Oh my god. Not like this. My Zerg heart bleeds, puppy.
This is extremely committed coming up from MaSa right now. It does mean that if Ukko is able to defend this, and MaSa shouldn't have a path to keep the game going. But that's a very big if, you know, MaSa, he's going to be making a ton of Marines. It's going to come down a lot to his control.
Yeah, and I love this. He even goes for a regular SCV scout timing, just to make it look that much more normal. So Ukko is none the wiser. He is going for his third hatchery because why not? Like, for all he knows, it is a normal standard game, but it's anything but because the Marines are on the way.
Already a decent number of them. The Lings, I mean, the Lings probably wouldn't have been able to do much anyway, but yeah, they're going to be doing even less as they go across the map.
Yeah, we'll see if MaSa's going to be able to wall off in time, because right now the wall is not a wall. Meanwhile, here we go. The Marines do reveal themselves. They get the Queen!
And that's already a very big start here for MaSa, building a bunker here to be able to fall back to. I was going to say MaSa isn't walling off, but Ukko turns around with his Lings, and I think that's just a mistake here.
Oh my god, I mean, we'll see what the Lings can do. The bunker is still not done. We almost see a full surround. The drones are doing what they can, but the stutter stepping is too good, Yaku!
The mineral walking looked good, but the stutter stepping is even better. MaSa has lost a couple of Marines. He has lost his SCVs, but enough has stayed alive for him to keep this going. If he camps a production right now, these Zerglings probably won't be able to get much going, but if Ukko can bank them, he can go for a full surround.
Yeah, exactly. 14 Lings are on the way, as well as drones, so he does have a lot of potential to dive on this army. Meanwhile, I love this MaSa. He backs off. He doesn't want to get surrounded and caught in between two bases. We do see a kill, not a cancel on the bunker.
That's a couple of Marines that won't be being built here. With the loss of that refund. Natural base is going to be dealt with. This is still a lot of Marines, mind you, and if they fight on the ramp, which is what MaSa wants more than anything, they should be able to win, but that's where the mineral walking of the drones comes in handy.
Exactly. It was so smart of him to be so tentative, so kind of conservative here at the ramp to make sure he doesn't get surrounded, to make sure he's able to make use of the map's layout here to his advantage. Meanwhile, the Queen already taking a lot of damage.
Here's my question, Light. Is there a way for MaSa to just keep Ukko on one base?
Oh, the boys are here!
There may be a way, but MaSa isn't interested in finding it. The boys have been pulled to prevent that mineral walk, to prevent that drone surround, and this should just about secure it here. for MaSa. We had a bit of a longer game, number 1, and a much shorter game, number 2. MaSa will take that series 2-0, which is honestly a travesty because I wanted a game number 3. I wanted an ace match just to see more of his builds, but yeah, I'm sure MaSa isn't feeling too bad about that.
GG, well played. I agree. I wanted to see more of MaSa. I wanted to see an ace match, but unfortunately, it is not meant to be. MaSa, with that great 4x, went completely unscouted, and he did everything right. He kept all of his SCVs here with his Marines. He didn't show his hand too soon. He went for a regular SCV scout timing. Ukko was none the wiser, and unfortunately, Ukko's Overlord pathing scouting pattern left much to be desired. Usually, you send your first Overlord towards the right-hand side in a bit of a triangular kind of path to scout that area, but he went over towards the north instead in a very different scouting path instead. Unfortunately, that's...
Yeah, well, I can't really blame Ukko too much for that. We see a pretty standard proxy location on 2,000 atmospheres is in kind of that ravine there, where you have those, where you have that tall grass hiding, so that is understandable from Ukko, but MaSa has definitely studied these maps. He knows exactly where Zerg typically doesn't scout, and I will say for Ukko, after he found out a 4x was coming his way, he dealt with that about as well as I think he could have. His control is pretty decent. He was definitely being patient and trying to draw MaSa into the most compromising position possible, but 1, MaSa wasn't taking that bait, and 2, at that point it was far too late.
Yeah,
MaSa just got way too many Marines.
Like, everything was going wrong when, at the very start of the engagement, if you remember, there was some body blocking with the SCVs, and he killed the first queen. He immediately dove in, killed the natural queen, and that is so much firepower, that's so much energy for transfuse as well. Like, that queen is so important in the defense, and for him to start off like that was, it was almost game then and there, you know? Like,
And with that, neither player will be advancing out of the group stage, but I think actually this this makes it so that MaSa isn't the lowest in this group. With that victory, you know, he can confidently say, I didn't make it out last. And actually none of these players went out without winning a series at least, which is nice to see. But unfortunately, you know, 8 players in the group, only 4 can advance.
Only 4 can advance. Aye. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the brackets yourselves. As a reminder, we are here in Group B. And yes, Ukko as well as MaSa will not make it through. But they were fighting for money. And again, MaSa, he does earn a little bit more here after this series.
And speaking of those 4 players, they have just about been decided here. We have gotten an update of our players advancing out of Group B in number 1 place. This is a bit of a surprise to me. Like, wait, I don't think the series is finished yet. Has it?
It's not.
It hasn't yet, But currently, Disc is in the number 1 position. He's actually up 1 game over Neeb right now, happening on the mainstream. Neeb is in number 2, but of course, you know, reverse sweep can happen. They can flip that around, but that only affects seeding. The next 2 players confirmed out of the group stage into the playoffs is Pili, and of course, our very own CranKy Duckling, Vindicta.
Yo, let's go! Vindicta, all he had to do was win 1 game, and he has already done that. He's already done all he needs to. Congratulations to our boy Vindicta, Miguelito himself. He does make it into that top 4. The CranKy Ducklings will be represented in the playoff bracket of North America. Woo! Let's go!
Let's get it.
Oh my god. Yes. Massive shout out to Vindicta. Also shout out to Pili as well. He's also going to be making it through. I know Pili for a while now has talked about how he wants to be mainly a streamer, not so much a player, but despite that, he's still pretty damn good at the game.
Yeah, I remember when Probe decided he wanted to be more of a streamer than a player, but still ended up winning every season of DreamHack. So yeah, Pili, you know, it's gonna take a while before you aren't a dominant name here in NA, and hopefully, you know, you continue to be a dominant name.
Yeah, Fingers crossed, mate. Fingers crossed. Ooh. Again, when it comes to the playoff bracket for North America, it's still not seeded because we still have to figure out the placement of all of these players and where they kind of fall between each other. So be sure to stay tuned to the mainstream, where at the end of the day, they will draw that playoff bracket and announce it to the world for the rest of DreamHack.
Yeah, you can definitely make a couple of educated guesses on, who's likely to face whom in the playoff brackets, but you don't want to pull a Lambo, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Feels Lambo, man. Feels Lambo.
Man.
For those who don't know, and for those who were not awake for DreamHack Europe, Lambo, all he tweeted, all he wanted in the world was to not face Cyril in the playoffs, and that's
in the first round.
In the first round, and that's exactly who he got. And after that happened, he tweeted out, ... He's like, there are no words, only pain, only pain.
Over in Spain.
True.
Where's where they're gonna end up? In a month from now.
Yeah, the top two players of DreamHack NA are going to be invited to Valencia. They're going to get their accommodations and their flights paid for, so that's what we want to see here. And it's not so cut and dry, Top 3 players for a long time have been Scarlet, Estrella, and Neeb. But, with Disc popping off, with Trigger on the rise, like with Vindicta as well, working a lot in his TVP, like the upsets can happen.
Yeah. Honestly, right now, Disc
True.
has a very good chance of beating Neeb here and walking into the playoffs as the player who didn't drop a series.
Yeah, that would be huge for Disc. So be sure to check out the other streams, !streams in the chat to see, the main stream, the B stream, and the C stream as well, as I believe they are all still casting their series.
Yes, so we're in the B stream, it is Vindicta versus Pili Pili. In the main stream, it is Disc versus Neeb. And in the C stream, I have that playing. Yeah, well, I don't know if that series is done yet or not. But yeah, it should be M. Canning versus Binsky. Of course, there's also a delay, so who knows if by the time this is set on stream. Yep, M. Canning versus Binsky is still going on.
That it is. Meanwhile, I just want to give a shout out to everyone in the chat. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in here today for the last day of the group stage for DreamHack North America. We appreciate all the support, and I hope everyone enjoyed their time here.
Yeah, it was definitely quite a journey here, casting all of the regions of DreamHack MaSa's Valencia. Not all of it on the CranKy Ducklings channel, but a lot of it by Ulite.
Yeah, we did a lot of it over on the B stream as well. It was great to be a part and great to be involved with ESL and with DreamHack. Yeah, I think we got really lucky with all of our series. Even here in North America, like no one could have expected MaSa to play the way they did.
Yeah, I don't think any of the stream today went full NA.
Same with Asuna versus Epic. That was also just another wild series. But yeah, with that, thank you so much everyone for watching. Yaku, why don't you tell the people a little bit more about yourself and who you are before you go off to bed?
Who am I? Am I going to go to bed, actually?
You should go to bed.
What
time is it right now in Singapore?
It is 5:30 a.m.
It's 5:30 a.m.
And I have a doctor's appointment at noon.
No, Yaku! Why?
I'll take a nap.
Take a 5-hour nap, mate. Take a 5-hour nap. Oh god.
But yes, since we are casting over on the Ducklings channel, ! Discord in the chat. I got the order wrong. Yeah. I am Yaku of Dizaku, twitch.tv/Yakuzaku1, where I sometimes stream. I might, now that we've kind of finished up the group stage, I might do a short stream of Planet Zoo at some point, but that's also going to be depending on how busy I get with uni. Other than that, twitter.com @MporeYakuzaku is where I generally announce when I do stream. And also sometimes post selfies. And ! Discord in the chat. It will bring you to the CranKy Ducklings Discord server, where you will find me, you'll find Light, you'll find Kuro, who has been handling a lot of the behind-the-scenes production today, tweeting and doing the predictions and liaising with some of the admins when we're busy in game. So she's there, Steel Mold is there, Darking is there. You saw him in the Latin America cast of DreamHack Valencia. We're all there. It's a fun time.
Yeah, check us out in our Discord server. Meanwhile, you can follow more of me at light_VIP on Twitch and Twitter. I do stream occasionally throughout the week. I've been a little bit more active recently, and we've been having a lot of fun, slowly grinding our way back up into Master. So if you want to be a part of that, check me out on my personal stream.
Slowly learning how to beat Protoss.
Oh no, that's not happening. It's all about avoiding Protoss, mate. It's all about avoiding Protoss. So yeah, you can check me out there if you're interested. Otherwise, if you're only interested in our broadcasting, of StarCraft games, then follow us here on the CranKy Ducklings. Our next cast is going to be in a couple of days. It is going to be Sparkling Tuna Cup. That is going to be Wednesday evening in 2 days.
Yeah, if you're interested in more professional StarCraft, I mean, we've put it in a hiatus just because we have been casting DreamHack, and DreamHack has been going on at about the same time, and so we didn't want to take away from that, as we didn't want to take away from these smaller tournaments like Valencia, but yeah, that will be coming back this week along with our amateur events as well. This week should be MaSa Swan Open, I believe. No, it's Sea Duckling Open.
I think it's Sea Duckling Open. So yeah, all of our regular tournaments and all of our regular broadcasts are going to be coming back now that our coverage of DreamHack is over. But even though our coverage is over, DreamHack itself is still going on. We still have the playoff bracket for EU and NA, and we still have the main Valencia event that is going to be happening in July.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a break. I mean, obviously, EU and NA do need to finish up here, but that's going to be a week. After that, there will be a little bit of a 2-week break here on DreamHack. It just gives the players a little bit of time to prepare, I suppose, and everything else as well. Because, funnily enough, it actually takes a little bit of time to prepare for an offline event or to get whatchamacallit ready, everything organized. Visas and whatnot, yeah, for an offline event, which is honestly, it's still I almost don't believe it that it's coming back, but yeah.
I think Michael was telling us the other day that he was working on his visa as well for Valencia because he qualified, and there's no reason to get a visa unless you win your region, especially if you're from a smaller region. So everyone has to get their visas. ESL has to organize all the flights as well and the accommodation as well. So they do need a little bit of time to prepare all of that, and yeah, eventually it's going to be upon us again. It's exciting times for an offline event to finally return. I mean, we've been having Katowice and stuff, which sure, that's the World Finals, but
yeah,
there's something a little bit different about the old DreamHacks.
Yeah, it's a champagne. That gets popped at the end.
Thankfully,
or fails to pop at the end.
Yeah, they did stop that a couple of years ago. Oh god,
2019, I think.
Yeah, when Olsen, it wasn't Olsen. There was the old head of DreamHack when he left. I think that went with him, unfortunately. But maybe they'll bring it back. Maybe they'll bring it back.
I don't know if they should. They wanna fiddle around with a corkscrew for 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was always very awkward. Always very awkward. Shaking my head. Oh god. But yes, thank you so much everyone for watching. We have taken up enough of your time. We are gonna give another one of the streams a bit of a raid. I believe M Canning series just ended. But we're gonna give, of course, the B stream a raid so we can all watch Vindicta in the ace match against Pili Pili.
Ooh.
Let's go.
These two players already confirmed out, but yeah, who gets that bounty?
Yeah, that's what we're going to find out. So thank you so much everyone for watching. Hit that follow button if you want to tune into more broadcasts, and we will see you guys in 2 days.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bye.
Ciao.
Bell.